Hello everybody and welcome to a video log by Fwipp, cruising down the highway. I am about halfway through another 5-hour drive, this time coming back from my girlfriend's place. And on this episode of, let's call it Let's Play Real Life, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Killing time. Goodness. At some point in your lives, you're just going to need to find ways to make the time go by. I'm not kidding. A 5-hour drive, it's the kind of thing where you've got to be awake, you know, you've got to be aware. You know, little porcupine animals or, you know, moose babies might just jump out of the road any moment. You know, they say there's no moose babies out in Nova Scotia, but how do they know? You know, it's all one big Canada. These things can walk anywhere. Last time I checked, there weren't any borders within this country, especially not for animals. You know, maybe I'll find a Canada goose, something like that. Anyway, even at work, you gotta work, you know, tomorrow I'm working 5:45 to 2. That means, at best, I'm probably getting 6 hours of sleep, 7, whatever. And as always, I've noticed the last hour is the worst. It's always the worst, because in your mind, you're going, hey, I'm almost done, you know, or, oh, shoot, you know, everything else was fine, but now, you know, why can't it be over so soon? Funny enough, the more I do these sorts of things, like crazy drives or just really long work shifts, the easier they get. And the only thing I can think of is your body gets used to it. It's strange. Just like talking to you guys kills at least a good 10 minutes. Or, you know, thinking, hey, I'm, you know, my glass is half empty. I've only got a half an hour left. Let's make it the best half hour we did. You know, that sort of thing can really make the time fly by. And in fact, in my own small fast food service work that I have right now, being really, really busy means you don't look at the clock. It's weird. Perception is weird, guys. If you're, you know, boiling a kettle, well, no, don't boil kettles, okay? The plastic smell will knock you out. Okay, if you're boiling water in a kettle and you don't look at said kettle, by the time you're done reading 3 pages, boom, you're done, right? Yeah, it kind of sucks if you're making toast and then bing, you know, you forgot to go take it out and then it's hard and then the butter doesn't melt and then you can't even eat breakfast. It's horrible. Anyways, there's going to be a lot of time in life, I'm sure. Just like me, you're just going to need to pass it by. The best thing that I can say for you is at least try to make it a bit productive. It's not the best thing being mindless, no. I mean, it'll make the time fly by while you're at work, but honestly, hey, if you're not thinking, I mean, what are you besides, you know, a robot waitress or a chauffeur without a plan? Now, I'm lucky. I have a GPS. It tells me where to go, and I've been down this road long enough. I know it's, you know, straight, bendy, very hilly. There's not that much I really need to worry about. But I don't zone out. I try to think about inspirational things, or at least listen to CBC radio, you know, stories. Listen to stories, things that'll interest you. Oh my gosh, it's a long drive. Let's call this a video log, because for goodness sakes, I don't do those anymore. And this is crazy. It's always the last hour that's the worst, because you can kind of gauge yourself, like, hey, it's been 2 hours, I'm alright, you know. You know, my clock's 15 minutes out of sync. That means 20 more minutes added for when I stop for gas. Oh. Sometimes an hour can be like that. Sometimes 10 minutes can be forever. And it's all perspective. That's the crazy thing, you know? Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly, it's all in your head. Time is all in your head. That's the crazy thing, you know? Go out there and find Penelope's chronometer. Somebody. Because time is weird. And if you're trying to kill it like me, at the very least, listen to somebody who's got some ideas. Because apparently being me talking about ideas is not good enough. But thanks for joining me anyway. Like I said, try to find inspiration. I once saw a marble on the sidewalk and decided to write a poem about it. It didn't go anywhere. I also found an empty inkwell at the beach. That didn't go anywhere. I saw a headless doll at the beach, and that was really freaking creepy. And I left it there. And the next day I came back and it was gone. I don't know. Is there some sort of greater significance? But creepy dolls, you know, what was its story? I don't know. My story is, I'm one sad guy driving back through Canada. 5-hour drive. Lonely road. All alone. It's great. Thanks for joining me. wish I had more to talk about, to be honest. It's a struggle. Driving is a struggle. I once said to myself, I don't need to drive, I have a bicycle. God, I was stupid when I was young. But weren't we all, you know? I didn't know what depression was until I started dating. Oh, they didn't tell you that in school, did they? No, they all thought it was a great idea. Hey, why don't you jump on board? No, it was easier when you all just played cards, you know? Although, can classmates be really called your friends? They're kind of forced into a room with you. Get to know people really well. That's my moral of the story. Who are your friends? You really know their interests? Why are they your friends? Think about that one. That's another little inspirational thing. That's actually depressing. The hell am I talking about? Whew. Got a sunset coming up on the horizon. It's not like there aren't enough paintings of those, so you know what I'm talking about. Why am I so paranoid lately? I mean, I might be going a bit over the speed limit, but I'm the only one out here. Is that really so bad? Even if I was to go over the middle line a bit, would it make a sound? Oh my goodness, people have brainwashed you into thinking that you gotta stay in one side of the road. How about we... Now if I go a little bit to the side, everybody will think I'm drunk, and this is cream soda, it's not beer. But anybody looking at my car might have an issue with that. Or the hundreds of secondhand books that I've gotten over the course of this last trip. Man, I am a yard sale-aholic. First thing I go to in any store, whatever's on sale. God, I don't know, I inherited cheapness from my family, and that sort of thing you gotta weed out of your head gradually, because it's stuck there, and it's hard changing your ideas. Because I grew up on that, you know? Why buy new things when you can get things at Frenchie's for $2.50? You know? And if it fits, maybe it was meant to be. You know? Not because you're at a store where there's 30 different shoes, and you can totally try on a different size. You know, if that pair of shoes in the secondhand store fits you like a glove, you know, keep the glove and the shoes. It's great. Ooh. You know, sometimes I think we distract ourselves from life to try and get away from our major problems, which may or may not be good or bad as long as you recognize that. I mean, the future's always uncertain, and that's okay. But it's a journey, you know. It's a journey. You know, if you don't like the journey, well, you know, at least you're gonna get somewhere good eventually, right? Let's all be hopeful. I'm hopeful. For no good reason. But I figure, funny enough, the world is a better place for me being in it. So that's kind of one reason I'm still heading on out. Still waiting and driving and finding people that, you know, like me for me. Trying to be me, whatever me is. Because, you know, whoever you are changes throughout your life. And you just got to make sure that you're becoming the person you want to be. Because it's a choice sometimes. I need to be more assertive. Anyways, like I said, that's about it for now. You know, if you guys have some major troubles with driving and stuff, you know, I bet you can relate to me. I'm sure I'm not that much of a crackpot. Maybe a little bit. I kind of like being weird. If there's one direction for me, it's even more weird. And you know what? I like it. Because they say, get people to know you at your worst, and they'll like you when you're at your best, or whatever, or... People are capable of anything, and even if your joke is a swing and a miss. Hey, look up ahead. We got some giant fans in the distance. Very awesome. On this lovely little road trip with you and Fwipp. Because life is a lonely road. A path less traveled, said Robert Frost. Let's kick it in some high gear. Can you see those fans? I don't think you can. They're giant wind turbines. Very nice. People should have wind power more often. Maybe I could power things on my stupid voice. Have fun out there, guys. If you're not having fun, I mean, well, maybe at least you have a job. I try to have fun at work. Even if I'm in fast food, it might not be all that fun, but it's something, right? We make the most of things. We make the best of things. That's life. Anyways, toodaloo. My time on this clock's almost over, so thanks for joining me. This is Fwipp saying, let's drive into both the sunsets and the giant fans. Hopefully those will come up. I have not seen those very often in life. It's not like I can get closer, though. We're on a highway. A highway is like a labyrinth. That's why there's only so many exits. However, if you get lost, you can always just go in a circle, I suppose. There they go! Around and around. If they stop, so does the power. You guys. Whoever's listening to this, I appreciate it. And I hope you make your own silly video logs too, because I can't be the only one without anything to say on a long trip. Road Trip with Fwipp! It's great. It's terrible. If you like this series, maybe I'll do more. If you don't like this series, I'll do more anyway. Because as long as it's fun for me, it's got to be fun for you, right? And check those out! Giant blades going through the sky. Happiness is a sharp knife. Oh my god. It's not all that bad when you have something to talk about, especially yourself. Yeah, I'm pretty good for having only one hand on the wheel, aren't I? Whoops, speaking of that, let's make sure we're straight and not going over 20. 120, that is, in a 110 zone. Have a good night, everybody. This is Fwipp signing out. Peace and prosperity.